The real estate market is always changing, and that is why I love sharing this monthly market update with you. Hey, it's Jennie Wolek here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Wolek Group, Keller Williams Realty. And as you know, we're always keeping an eye on the local real estate market because here's the deal. You can watch the national news, but that may have nothing to do with what is actually going on right here in Green Country. So we've got the latest and greatest data and detail report here from our multiple listing service. As you remember, as I share this month after month, is that we always run a little behind because they got to tally up all the final numbers. So although I'm reporting here in January, this is the year-end numbers for 2025. And to be really honest, we made it. We got through the year and actually we increased in most categories, which is a good thing. So let me get to business on reporting the data. So first up, the numbers that I like looking at is we've got the closed properties, the pending properties, those that are under contract, and then the active properties on the market. All of those up from 2024 to 2025. Yay. It was a great year to finally kind of catch up and reset from the wonkiness of the years before with interest rates and all the other things that were going on. You were probably feeling it or at least seeing it in the market anyway, like we were. So those are all great numbers. That is important to note. What I also notice is that the average sales price did ooch up just a little bit. It went up to $321,000, which is over the year before 317,046. So not much of a growth in the sales price, but it held steady, which is great. And as you know, and we like talking about is year over year, if there aren't things going on in the world or in the market, we tend to have here in Tulsa about a 4% appreciation each year. Now, remember, we've had some ups and downs, but the trend line tends to run at that 4% appreciation. If I go back to the number of homes that actually closed from 2024 to 2025, it's a 7.24% increase, but when I did the math, it was only about 500 more homes. That doesn't seem like a lot, but again, it felt like a more normal year when it came to real estate and getting back into the flow of things. Now, the other thing that you're probably hearing about or feeling or seeing if you're paying attention is that signs are maybe staying in yards a little bit longer. And that is because days on market has increased. Now, on average, this is an average, right? It's only increased about 4 days. So from 37.96 days on the market to 41.89 days on the market, it's about 4 days. And though what is you're probably seeing is that the signs are staying in the yards longer is because we're still having a bit of a struggle pricing that in today's adjusting market, sellers may still have expectations of higher prices based on days gone by in the past where they could throw up a number and just see what happens. And buyers there was low inventory, so buyers were maybe forced into those prices, but now things are changing because we have more days on market and our inventory is actually the biggest increase. The active inventory is now at 3544 over 3177 the year before, which is 11.55% up. So more inventory, more competition for sellers. Buyers have more options. Sellers may not be able to get this dream price that they were hoping for. The other truth, and I'm seeing this happen a lot, is that sellers who purchased in 2020, 21, 22, maybe at the height of our market, are now needing to sell. And they are having expectations and hopes of pricing their home higher than what they paid for it. But that might have been the height of the market or the neighborhood. And depending on what was happening at the time, they might have just paid a price that they can't necessarily sell it for today. Now, remember, you're not upside down in your home if you don't sell it. So over time, markets will always adjust and catch up, and the equity will be a part of it. So this is where maybe you moving for a work reason or just because, and you get to make some tough decisions. Maybe you keep your property for now. Maybe you lease it out, rent it out, or maybe you decide to take a hit on it. You might not get all back what you put into it, or you might have some costs that make it go a little below what number you were hoping for. But if you are able to purchase because interest rates have inched just a bit below 6%, which is a pretty good number based on all of the things that have happened in the past years. Maybe you just have to just figure that out if it is a good time for you to sell right now. It's not always a good time for people to buy or to sell. It has to be right for you, for your situation, and for your financial needs. Another statistic that I heard that I think is really important to share is as the numbers are coming out from 2025, the National Association of Realtors has shared that 71% of all licensed real estate agents didn't sell a home last year. 71% of all licensed real estate agents in the National Association of Realtors did not sell a home last year. And then another statistic I just heard, which would just be taking the average of all homes that were sold, would equal about 4.4 homes sold per agent. So let that math sink in. And my reason for sharing this is that not all real estate agents are created equal. Just because someone has a license doesn't mean that they know how to actually help you to achieve your real estate goals, especially if they're just selling a few homes a year. They are not up to date on the latest uh, tactics and tools and tips and strategies to help you price your home correctly, to market and promote, and then to ultimately get you to the closing table when there's so much stuff that happens in between the new on the market to under contract to the closing table. You really, truly need to interview and investigate and research your real estate professional because, like I said, we're not all created equal. And thanks for hanging out with me and listening to my latest market report. I hope you're enjoying all of this content and material. We're always happy to send you the full 11-page report if you like all the details like I do. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.